Hi Lifehouse family, Pastor Miriam here. I just wanted to share a little bit of encouragement with you from Pastor Matt's message on Sunday. If you haven't had a chance to listen to that, I highly encourage you to go listen to it. It is all about encouragement, so you're getting double encouraged here. But I just wanted to share a couple tidbits. One of the things that he did talk about was, he did talk about Barnabas. A lot of his sermon was about Barnabas and how he was known as the son of encouragement, which, what a good nickname. But something that I thought was so cool about that was that Jesus did have nicknames for his disciples. They were in this close, intimate relationship. And with that, you see him encouraging them, not just with what they did, but with who they are. With James and John being the sons of thunder, with Peter being the rock, that he really called out in them what he saw as even obvious things. And I think that's something that's so cool about encouragement is sometimes we have the opportunity to encourage people, and for us, it's acknowledging things that we see as obvious about people, but sometimes they don't see about themselves. So definitely encourage you to encourage someone in that way. Call out the obvious, and not hey man, your breath stinks, but hey, you're really a positive guy. That's really helpful in my life, or something like that. And the other thing that I just thought was cool was that he talked a lot about Barnabas purposed in his heart to encourage and to be a part of the ministry that was happening in this time. And I think that's something that's a good reminder for all of us, that we don't just go through and do the things because we know that we're supposed to, but that we would purpose in our hearts to encourage, that we would purpose in our hearts to give, that we would purpose in our hearts to point people to Jesus, that would ultimately be our goal, and that it would start in our hearts, not just be actions that we take. So I just want to encourage you with that this week. It's been really good. I've been reading in the book of Luke, and I think we always think about the Beatitudes being a part of Matthew, but they actually are in Luke as well. And something that really stood out to me this week was that before Jesus begins to give this sermon, and I mean, we know the Beatitudes, the Sermon on the Mount, this is the Jesus sermon of his career, for lack of better words. But at the beginning of this, he sits down and he turns and he talks to his disciples, and he gives this rich wisdom that we hear quoted from people who don't even know the Lord, that blessed are the poor in spirit, blessed are those who mourn. We hear these things, and what I thought was so cool about it was that Jesus was, yes, he was speaking to crowds, but he was speaking intimately to his disciples. Luke 6:20 says, "Then Jesus turned to his disciples and said," and then he launches into what we know as the Beatitudes. And I think just after hearing about the intimacy that Jesus had with the disciples in Pastor Matt's sermon on Sunday, it was cool to see that then in other parts of the Bible, that he did have this relationship. He had these nicknames. He had this profound wisdom that he shared with these people who were so close to him. And don't discount the profound wisdom of your close friends. I think that's something that we put all the pressure on Pastor Matt and Missy, or the speaker on the stage, and realizing that the people around us are learning and hearing from God too, and we get to value that and encourage them in that as well. So that's my mini sermon for you. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you Sunday morning. Again, we will be meeting in the parking lot to pray together and go out on our outreach. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us either on Facebook, or you can call us, text us, email us, whatever you need to do. Have a great rest of your week.